I really shouldn't be here today. That I have survived so many close calls throughout my life compels me to share some of the approaches I've used that have enabled me to overcome challenges and thrive. What events transformed that skepticism into ultimately fulfilling that childhood fascination with magic? That childhood fascination enabled me to present over 4,000 magic shows, travel to 16 states, make dozens of TV appearances, write 3 autobiographical books that illustrate how attitude triumphs over challenges, and how magic transported me to meet my life partner, Devon. Mrs. Amazing, who's blind to my disabilities and most importantly, maintains my good hair. And that dream for me was that I could have my own identity like other kids instead of being seen as just some poor kid with visible deformities from arthritis, ulcerative colitis, a severe stutter, and blindness. Did I just hear time for a one-liner alert signal? I failed my braille test. I felt bad. Get it? Pinocchio the puppet is my story simplified. Much like Pinocchio, who needed the support of Geppetto, for years I needed lots of support. And like Pinocchio, I longed to pull my own strings. And like Jiminy Cricket guided Pinocchio, God instilled in me 3 principles to build an identity. Well, it was the introduction to the harmonica that was my first beacon of hope. Because whenever I would play it, it would temporarily realign my breathing and enable me to speak fluently. Short, medium, and long. Rather than focusing on things that make us different from one another, as it is with these 3 different length ropes, instead, we can focus on things that we have more in common with one another, just as these 3 lengths of rope now have a common length. And it really are differences that add color and richness to our lives, just as these ropes have now returned to their 3 different legs. I'd like now to have a volunteer come up here. Don't bother holding your hand up. They'll just turn blue. My wife gave me a book about manners, and it says it's very rude to ask a woman how old she is, so how much do you weigh?
I was even late to my own wedding.
We have very good communication. At least once a week, she removes her noise canceling headphones. Despite the challenges, I never considered once any other profession. Through magic, I had tasted the nourishment of validation for which I had always hungered to fulfill that childhood dream. Here's a little song that has special meaning to me.